Hey, this type of shit make you want to talk your shit, you know what I'm saying? Take a long drive. Let's talk to the people. And that's on 6.
All right, guys, welcome. Appreciate you guys for checking in. And as always, do me a solid and subscribe, like, comment, share, the whole 9 yards. You can also turn on your notification bell just to get a lot more updated videos anytime I upload, all right? All right, today we're going to be talking about Travs Hunter and his fiancée. The reaction she had after a game where she appeared to be a little bit distraught. Not sure what the conversation was after that game. I believe it was the final game of the season. He had 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards receiving, as well as 2 interceptions. He was balling out, as he always does. And it seemed to be like his girl was kind of getting at him after the game. Not sure what it was about, but let's take a look. And as always, let's go ahead and give our input. And as I always say, I'm the devil's advocate. I'm going to give you both sides of the spectrum. All right? Bear with me. Let's get it.
Coach Prime will certainly have an incredible last memory of taking the field with his sons, Shador and Shiloh, here at Folsom Field at home.
All right. So let's talk about this video. Now, she looked like she was eating his ass up about something. We do not know what the hell they were talking about. Maybe somebody threw something at her from the audience and she was still upset. Maybe somebody touched her inappropriately. Maybe somebody did something very disrespectful to her while she was sitting in the audience and she was just telling them about it. Maybe she was shooting him an attitude. Possible. Now, if that is the case, that's what people going in on, Travis. You just had your last game, and after the game, instead of hey babe, you did amazing, you did your thing, and being happy for you, she decided to react off of whatever it was. Like I said, we don't know, but I feel like, especially being so young and being on this platform and having that spotlight, you have to know how to react. You have to know where your place is as a woman. You have to know where your place is as a fiance. You have to know where your place is. So, for example, if something happened to me that I didn't like, but my spouse is having a celebration, that's not the time for me to say, hey, babe, this just happened to me, and fuck up her mood. Being that we have this emotional connection that, usually when you're in a relationship, whatever your partner does and goes through or feel, it kind of rubs off on you. It just does, So with that being said, if he just had a stellar performance, that's not the time to be upset at him, nagging at him about something. Don't care what it was. Give him his time to be celebrated, celebrate with him. And then behind closed doors, that's the time for you to say, hey, babe, I ain't like this. Hey, babe, this will happen. I believe he did speak out about it, or she spoke out about it, or whatever the case may be. He said that girls just being girls. And Travis, I have to agree with you there. Sometimes my girl does things that I'm like, yo, what the fuck? How does that make sense? And that's just women. And I'm not bashing women. We wouldn't be here today without women. I'm not bashing women, but sometimes the your actions are questionable, and not to the point where we're like, hey, we want to break up. Nah. And for Travis, it might not be something that's too big, but to us watching this on television, it looks crazy. And, sometimes it's like a sneak peek of what you're about to get into long term. So understand that when you marry somebody, you married. It's an easy thing to get into, but hard thing to get out. And usually when you get out without a prenup, sometimes with a prenup, guys, sometimes people get fucked over with a prenup. If she's giving you a whole attitude in public on national television, that shows that she has no awareness of the situation. That's almost like the girl who would go to a party with her man, gets bumped by a guy who has 40 guys in the club with him, and she just went with her man, and she's going off on a guy, and she's telling you, hey babe, he just tried me, and you like, damn babe, it's only one of me and 50 of them. And now you got a whole mess, and you don't even know how you about to leave this club. You hear me? So you have to be aware. You have to be aware of the circumstance. You have to be aware of the situation. And people will talk about what you showed to them on camera. Not saying to fake it in front of people and, you know, be miserable behind closed doors, but if you do plan on being together in a relationship and a marriage, you have to have a moral compass on knowing when to have these conversations. And that goes back to maturity. They're young. There's a time and a place for everything. And I stress in my relationship and my friendships and everything, communication, be emotionally intelligent. Hey, look, if I'm on the graduation stage, that ain't the time for you to be telling me how I fucked up last night doing this or doing that. Baby, give me my flowers and then maybe we'll argue a little bit at the house. You feel me? But look, pay attention to those signs. Now, Travis, if the shoe fit, wear it, brother. If she's nagging at you about stuff like this and it's happening often, what you think gonna happen when she your wife? You think it's gonna stop? You think it's gonna get less? You think, nah, brother, she gonna turn that motherfucker up. Now, like I said, that might not be the circumstance. It might just been her tripping just on that occasion. But just be mindful of her doing that on camera. The reason why people are making all these commentaries and bashing, you know, you guys' relationship is what you showed to people. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's relationship is perfect either. But when you're a Heisman winner or you a star athlete, and that's another thing, you guys are famous now. You ain't got no regular life. I can go to Popeyes right now. Nobody know who I am, but you guys can't no more. I mean, being a celebrity is a blessing and a curse. So be mindful. Be mindful that you're on camera. Be mindful that reporters love a good story. Reporters love some toxicity. People love some toxicity. So be mindful of that. Now, for the young lady, be aware. Be aware. This is just a minor situation where you have to realize, hey, look, I know my place. Not saying I don't have a voice. I have a voice. I'm sure Travis seemed like a pretty good stand-up, you know, upbeat, you know, genuine guy. So I'm sure he allows you to take responsibility and take certain actions or whatever the case may be. Don't know the dynamics of your guys' relationship, but know your place. There's a time and a place for everything. Being upset at your dude to the point where you in a stadium of over 20, 50,000 people and you only see you and him, and now you want to pick an argument. That's a problem. You need to get some. You need to get some help on that. And I feel like before you be defensive, hear it first. Hear, you know, and you kind of open up the can of worms for yourself, right? Because you're paying attention to what everybody's saying. I would say not to pay attention, but since you're paying attention, this is how I live my personal life. When people are saying things about me, which doesn't happen often, but whenever it does, or if it is going to happen in the future, I listen to the criticism and I sit there. And at that point, I have to be accountable and say, does that apply to me? Did I shoot an attitude when I wasn't supposed to shoot an attitude? Did I say the wrong thing when I could have just shut up and not say anything? Accountability is key for men and women. Now, men, you have to be accountable. You have to be accountable for your actions and what you do. But women do have a hard time with the accountability factor. Now, men are prideful. But you know who's even more prideful? I know some females who are very prideful. And it's a sad thing, but it's not all females. But even listening to this video, if you're struggling with being accountable, be accountable. And that's another thing. Like if this does apply to you guys' relationship, doesn't mean the relationship is over. Just apply some of the principles of being accountable. Hey, babe, maybe we didn't react the way we were supposed to act. We learn from it and we move on. But if you're hearing about what's going on and then you're being defensive, then making the videos and giving people more shit to draw that fish in, on the net, it's like, hey, look, you kind of causing this on your own. Now, do you want the publicity? Travis don't need it right now. Look, he gonna need to be locked in. He don't need to be on no reality TV show. He's a professional athlete. He's gonna be in the NFL. I'm gonna be watching him. Be putting some pics on him and everything like that. So God bless him. God bless you guys. But Travis, don't play no dummy. If she's arguing with you way too much, get out of there, bro. You know. And I heard a lot of older people tell me, because the older people is who have the knowledge. So when older people are speaking up and shit like that, not saying everything they say is true, but most time is true. You're never gonna find a perfect woman. You just have to find a woman that you're willing to put up with. No, I think I said it wrong. Just find a person and know how much you're willing to put up with. It's something like that, brother. With that being said, know your limit. If you tired, like for me, I'm very not confrontational. In past relationships where, you know, the whole melodramatic behavior and temper tantrum, shit like that, man, look, at a point, I'm like, hey, look, I really don't have to deal with this shit. And men everywhere realize that. And sometimes you get in that thing and you feel like, oh my gosh, I need to have her forever. Hey, look, there's some more of that out there. There's a lot of fish in the sea, but you don't have to put up with no bullshit, especially before you have children and you young right now, you ain't married or anything like that. Look, you don't have to put up with it. I'm letting you know that right now. Life gets better. But stop being a, people call it simp now, but stop being a lame, bro. And this is by all means, it's not about Travis. I just went on a tangent for a little bit, but look, man, it's a lot of shit you ain't got to deal with. Don't be dealing with no chick with no temper tantrums. You were supposed to deal with that when you were a little girl. Now, if you have some trauma that you need to go, you need some help for, you need some therapy, that's another thing. But these temper tantrums, I don't give a damn how good you look. You throwing temper tantrums, look, get out. Get out. You do not need it. You need somebody, you need a companion who's going to enjoy life with you, who's going to build you up, you know, somebody who's going to be rational, you know, when you're not in a position to be, somebody who's going to add to you. That's what you need. Not saying that you're going to be perfect. Not saying that your spouse and your partner or your girl is not going to get on your nerves. It's going to happen. They're going to get on your nerves. Shit. My girl get on my goddamn nerves. And I tell her that all the time. But I know how much I'm willing to put up with. Know how much you're willing to put up with. And stand on it. You feel me? Stand on it. So if you say, hey, look, you throw one more tantrum, that's it. Stand on it. Because that shit ain't gonna get better. The older we get, we grow more into who we are. Just like if you meet a young nigga who's a hothead and he ain't take those steps in life to mature from that, or been around the right people to coach him through that, or matured himself mentally just by his experiences in life, he's gonna be an old nigga who's wild. You ever meet some old guys? Shit, I stay in Miami, so I see them all the time. It be some old guys acting like young cats. Grown man, 45, 60, riding a bike, with a scully on. Nah, people go through life. I ain't bashing nobody, but it remind me of a young nigga, man. You older now. What we doing? What you on the corner for? What you on the corner for? I ain't saying I seen nobody do anything on the corner either, but look, you have to mature. You have to mature. And I'm gonna leave you with this: just be accountable. And I think you guys need some PR management. Watch what you put out there, because people will turn that on you. And as always, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Until next time, Make sure you like and subscribe. Appreciate you.
You gotta charge it to the game and keep it a buck. I ain't never dropped no dime, I kept it on hush. When I touched my first burner, it gave me a rush. And if a nigga want to smoke, it's